it's really not just adding integers though, because integers aren't defined as decimals and fractions. We are really adding rational numbers. That's what you're going to be able to do today. So I'm going to give you two rational numbers, and you're going to either add or subtract them. So, you don't need all this.
Oh,
Yay!
Cross it out. And not for today's learning target. Pay attention. Okay, so the first objective when you're dealing with adding rational numbers, you need to know how it may be presented to you on a number line. So the first thing that you do if they're given a number line, you want to write down where you started. Write down the integer that you started at. And then add to it how much you moved. The box is the starting point on this example. So which number did I start with on this number line? -7 is my starting point. So if I were to write an expression here, I would say -7 plus, how many spots did I move? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then it equals where I left off. It
3.
equals the 3.
That's super simple.
Yeah, it's nice to be shown though what this means, because sometimes when you're given it, when I'm like, okay, analyze and write down an expression, it can be hard to know really what they're looking for. So here I started at 9, so 9 plus, now I went to the left, is that positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm left with where I was, which is -1.
That's cool.
Why are both of them 10?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, hold on. Moving on to the next learning objective, the actual rules, where you're not given the number line. You have to just apply the rules. So, we always make an addition. Even if it's minus, you need to turn to plus and negative. If it's the same, you add them up and make it the same sign. If they're different signs, a positive and a negative, you take their difference and determine which one is furthest from 0. That tells us which sign it is. What I say to myself is, which one has more? And that will tell you what sign it will be. So, the real mathematical reason that it is the sign that it is after you add them is because one is further from 0. Okay, so let's apply the rules. So same means add, different signs means I'm going to subtract. So A says -3 plus -12. Are they the same or different? Same or different? Same, they're both negative, right? So you're going to go 12 plus 3 is 15, and then it says keep the same sign, so -15.
Super simple. I feel like we did this last year.
32 plus -7. Are they the same or different?
Different.
They're both.
So we're going to subtract 32 minus 7 is 25. Do I have more positives or more negatives?
More positive.
So I keep it positive. Okay. -23 plus 18. Are they the same sign or different signs? Different means take the difference. So I'm going to go 23 minus 18. What is that? 5. Do I have more positives or more negatives?
More negative.
So I'm going to make it negative.
This is easy.
This will hold.
3.01 plus a negative 1.7. Same or different? So I need to subtract them. Line up the decimal for decimals. Because today you can't have calculators. Okay, it's all by hand. So that is 1, borrow 1.31 Is it gonna be a positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive because there's more positives. Alright, so you're gonna be dealing with normal integers. You're gonna be dealing with decimals. And you're also gonna be dealing with fractions. Just don't forget, they have to have a common
Denominator.
denom. I'm just gonna say denom. And then you'll follow the integer rules. Okay? So, the first one, negative 1/3 plus 3/20. What's the common denominator between 3 and 20? 60.
Oh, Zach.
Okay, Hunter. And just a refresher, because sometimes we don't love common denominators, so just a refresher, I'm going to do a think aloud of what I do to get the new numerator, okay? What did I times 20 by to get to 60?
3.
So I need to times the top by 3, that turns to 9. What did I times 3 by to get to 60?
20.
20, so I'm going to times the top by 20, and that's going to be a negative 20. So now I have negative 20 plus 9 over 60. Are they the same or different?
Different.
So I'm going to take their difference, bless you. 20 minus 9 is 11. Do I have more positives or more negatives? So it's negative 11 over 60. Okay, this is great. Now I'm going to rewrite this. Okay, what is the common denominator between 7 and 14?
14.
Yes, please see that it's 14. Okay, don't make it 98 or 28 or anything like that. See that it's 14. Be nice to yourself. So I'm just going to turn the 7 into a 14. So I times by 2. I'm timesing the top by 2. That gives me a negative 8 on the top. So now I'm left with negative 8 plus a negative 3 all over 14. Are they the same or different?
Same.
Same, so I add them up, keep it negative. Negative 11 over 14.
Now.
Okay, now we're going to move to subtraction. So we reminded ourselves about adding, that we need to make sure to check to see if they're the same or different signs, and then we either add or subtract them. Subtraction, you need to turn to plus the negative. You have to. You have to turn any subtraction as 8th graders into plus negative. And then you're going to add following the addition rules. So 35 minus 72, you turn it to plus a negative. And now I can follow the rules. So remember, if they're the same sign, you add. If they're different signs, you subtract. Maybe you want to refresh your memory on that. So, are these the same or different? Are they the same or different?
They are very much
35 plus a negative 72, are they the same or different? Different, so I'm going to subtract them. 37, and do I have more positives or more negatives? So it's negative 37. What happens when you have a minus a negative? What does it?
plus.
It's plus plus. Now I don't like plus plus. I mean I like plus plus, but it looks messy. So rewrite it. It only takes a second. Negative 12 plus 7. It looks much better than plus plus. Are they the same or different? Same or different?
Different.
Thank you. So I'm going to take their difference, and I have more negatives. Notice that's always the same thing I say in my head. Are they the same or are they different? Because that tells me what I'm going to be doing with them. Negative 123 minus a negative 12. Plus plus that. Rewrite so I don't feel confused. Negative 123 plus 12. Once again, I'm saying to myself, are they the same or are they different? Different, so I'm gonna take their difference,
Okay.
and I have way more negatives. And this is the one that tricks 8th graders all the time. Okay, most 8th graders subtract these, but you are not. You have to turn to plus a negative. Plus a negative. Now, are they the same sign or different sign? Same sign, so that means I add them and keep it negative. Okay, now we're going to actually apply it where it's mixed up, meaning I have some addition, some subtraction, and now I'm expected to know that the first thing you always want to do is make sure that any minus sign is plus a negative. That's the first step, is always to turn a minus sign into plus a negative. And then I can combine them, okay? When you're given multiple terms like this first example, I group. It works much easier. So I'm going to group my positives together. 10 plus 15 is how many positives? How many positives? 10 plus 15.
25.
Thank you. I have 25 positives plus 4 negatives and 5 negatives gives me how many negatives?
9 negatives.
Plus a negative 9. So now I say to myself that same question, are they the same or are they different?
Different.
So I take their difference,
Let's see.
that's 16, and do I have more positives or more negatives?
Positives.
So it's positive 16. The second one is the one that a lot of kids do not love because it's a whole bunch of negative signs in there, or minus.
I love it.
Remember, the first thing you do is turn to plus a negative. Or, what happens with this minus a negative? What does that turn into? It turns into plus plus, and then I turn this into plus a negative. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm looking at that and my brain's feeling a little confused because it looks messy. So I'm taking the second that it takes to make it look more organized. Negative 4 plus 10 plus 5 plus a negative 20 plus 2. I still don't love it, but I can definitely work with it better than I can the original problem. I'm going to group my positives together or my negatives. I usually group together first, whatever sign is given to me first. So I have 4 negatives and 20 negatives is how many negatives? Thank you, negative 24. Plus 10, 15, 17 positives. Then again, I'm saying to myself, are they the same or are they different?
Are different.
They are different, so I am going to take their difference. And I get 7, and I get more negatives, so it's negative 7.
Going left to right was easier for me.
Oh, really? Okay, and then this third one with the fraction. What's the common denominator between 2 and 6? 6. Yep, be nice to yourself. I times 2 by 3 to get to 6. So I'm going to times 5 by 3, and I'm going to get a negative 15. I also notice that this should turn to plus plus. I'm rewriting negative 15, 6 plus 3, 6. Are they the same or different? They're different. 15 minus 3 is 12, and I have more negatives. So this is negative 12 over 6, which is negative 2. And that is your learning target.